By the pool guy, visit his pool store on the H-E-B off William D. Fitch next to the H-E-B at Tower Point. Set to go. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this one, folks. First pitch of today's game will come in from Brooke Vestal. It is outside and high, 1-0, and we are underway here in Aggie Land. Kaylin Watson, Chloe McGee, Maria Detillier to lead it off for the Lions, who enter with a 9-2 record. Folks, this team can hit the ball. They can run a lot, so it's going to be a challenge for Texas A&M. There's a strike called, and the count is even, 1-1 strike. Kaylin Watson, right-handed hitter. She's a senior out of Missouri City, a transfer from McLennan College. Stands in from the right side, wears number 30. Had herself a day in the earlier matchup. There's a nasty spinny changeup there at 62 miles an hour. Out in front of that, swing and a miss.
She just floated that one in. That looks, that's really, really tough. It's deceptive, like you said.
Watson in the opener, 4 for 4 in the win. Popped up off the end of the bat, left side behind third base. Coco Woolley will back up and make the catch for out number 1. Defense the same. If you've watched us all year, it's the same we've seen all year. Keeley in left, Jazz Hill in center, Hallie Enright's in right. Kennedy Powell, Coco Woolley, Rylan Wiggins, Amari Harper around the infield, Jules behind the plate. I was distracted with all the dancing and signals and stuff that go around there. So the Aggies get the first out here in the top of the first. Here's Chloe McGee, the shortstop, first lefty in the lineup. Just underway, no score. Takes a change for a strike. 0-1. McGee, left-handed batter, wears number 16, a true freshman out of Watson, Louisiana. Vestal ready. Here comes the next pitch. This one's chopped foul on the left side. Well foul of the third base coaching box. McGee, a 500 hitter on the nose. 15 for 30 at the plate. 6 stolen bases. We told you, folks, this team can run, and they can run a lot. Already, this doesn't include the, well, I can add in here. I can do some basic math here. 26 stolen bases on the young season in just 11 games for this Lion team, and that's nothing new in their program. This one's well outside to McGee, 1-2. Donna, when you have a fast team like this, obviously there's speed throughout the lineup, but especially at the top, so key to get those first couple outs.
Yeah, you don't want to have them on base because you know they're going to be aggressive in trying to take extra bases as you get to the meat of the order.
Vestal, rise ball, that misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This Lions team, as we said, 9-2 on the season. Already have played 2 Power 5 opponents. They beat them both. Syracuse and Maryland. That was last week. Now they're going to get Ole Miss twice next weekend in Oxford. They got LSU as well on the schedule, so they challenge themselves. This one lined into left field. Keely Williams played perfectly. Deep, or shallow and in on the line. Had to just move a couple steps to her left. She gets the line out for out number 2.
Yeah, really nice job by the Aggie defense there. You saw the infield all pulled in, trying to take away anything small. But when you can have somebody like that power slapping potentially over the infield's head, that was a nice job by Williams. Come in for that.
2 outs. Here's Maria Detillier, the third baseman, right-handed batter. Takes the first pitch for a strike on the outside part of the plate. Detillier, right-handed batter out of Gramercy, went to Lutcher High, a sophomore. On the season, 355 average, no home runs, 11 runs driven in, but 4 doubles and a triple. Again, that's speed for this Lady Lions lineup. Smokes this one to left. It's going to get caught. Oh, just off the glove of a leaping Keely Williams. It'll one hop and roll to the fence. That was hit on the screws by Detillier. Keely playing in just a tad, and we'll see how they score that one as I thought Donna was going to be over her head, and then she kind of got back to it, had to jump a bit. And
yeah, she didn't get her body turned back around the other way. That ball started to kind of tail back towards the left. I mean, that's a tough ball to play because those are one of those line drives that continues to go up as you're running back for it. It's just tough to judge.
So runner at second, that's going to be a double. And here is Bailey Krolchek, the catcher. Watch this bat. First pitch fouled off here to the left side. 0-1. No score, 2 outs here in the top half of inning number 1. Krolchek, preseason first team all-conference. Last year was the conference player and hitter of the season. She is a right-handed batter out of Corpus Christi. And on the season, Krolchek, 419 average, 2 doubles, 2 triples, 2 homers, and 13 runs driven in. This pitch is outside, 1-1. just quickly back to that ball. I mean, you were an outfielder. You played a bunch of innings out there. Hardest ones to catch, I bet, are the ones that are coming right at you.
Yeah, you can go left to right pretty easy, but the line drives that start to go upwards, those are really tough to judge.
So runner at second, 2 outs here in the top of the first. We're scoreless. This is well off the plate. Outside 2-1. Sun has captured most, you can see it if you're watching with us, but it's captured basically the entire left half of the field. Left field, both left side infielders, and pretty much all the way to first base. All of the second base, right, and center are all in the Sun. Change up way out in front of that. That was nasty. And the swing and a miss evens the count.
Just a great job coming back to what she trusts and what works is that change up.
You know, you can't see it on TV as much, but the spin rate on her ball is just insane. The amount of revolutions that she can get on the toss. 2-2 pitch, and there it is again. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, back to back. Opponents hitting 167 against her. First pitch, bunt off the front of the plate. Coco Woolley, forget about it. One pitch, she's on. Infield single for Coco to kick things off.
She's so fast. She's so fast, and what I like is that Coach Ford's been telling us they want to still work on that bunting game. And if Coco can drop a bunt like that, and now you got another quick one up in Kennedy Powell, it sets the tone immediately.
Yeah. So Coco on, by the way, she's now hitting better than this, but that's already her 9th hit of the season. Came in hitting .258 with 5 stolen bases. Would expect that they will try to ship her to second quickly. Here's Kennedy Powell, the sophomore out of Conroe. Left-handed batter. There she goes. Doesn't matter as she's in standing up. Ball went back to the screen on the throw. It hit off the glove of the catcher, Krolchek, and back to the screen. Stolen base. And you can't, if you're listening, you can't see it, but did you notice how Coco took a wide turn around second, always thinking about that next bag?
Super aggressive on the base paths. Her and Kennedy Powell, she gets on. Watch them both. They're going to take any extra bag they can.
Time called. And out of the dugout is Southeastern head coach Rick Freeman talking to home plate umpire Gwendolyn Boudreau. And he's already calling for a replay. He's looking for a runner left early at first base on Coco Woolley. So Southeastern already taking advantage of the chance to review plays here. This is new this year. You can review runners left early. And so we will have to see. This is Dustin Douglas, who's got the mic on. He's heading down, and so is Keith Kearney. That's our umpiring crew. Gwendolyn Miller, the home plate umpire, will stay on the field. They're going to go down into the umpire room and check on it. New rule this year, you can review if a runner left early. Teams get 2 reviews per game. There's no gimme, like if you get it right, you don't get to keep it. You just get 2. Umpire reviews can start in the 6th inning. So if the review shows, and as you can kind of explain the left early rule, but it's as simple as if the ball's still in the pitcher's hand and you've left the base, you're out.
Right, and I think here it has to be egregious. And we haven't seen the replay yet, but like it has to be egregious, I think, if they're going to review it and make that call. But you also have to get the right angle as well. But that's going to be a real game changer. Let's look.
Yeah, as we're watching on TV here. Yeah, I'd have to see it again on quick review here as Dubois, the ball, or excuse me, as Dubois leaves here. Coco kind of watching here when the ball leaves the pitcher's hand, and she's off the base before the ball leaves her hand, so she should be out on this one. That's a good call by Rick Freeman. Now, they have to agree in the umpire room here, but as we're seeing it, she's about a step and change off the bag by the time the ball leaves Dubois' hand. So very likely this will get overruled, and Coco will be sent to the dugout on a runner left early.
That's a good challenge, though.
Yeah.
You know, you could feel the momentum. I know it's early, but, you know, Coco on second base with no outs is a little more daunting.
You can't assume that the Aggies are going to score a run here, but the odds are very high of a percentage. So Kennedy Powell can put the ball on the ground. That moves her to third. Then you got the power bats coming up. So great idea by Rick Freeman, the head coach of the Lady Lions, and the umpires are
After further review, the runner left early at first. We have an out.
So Coco
No
is
count.
retired, and that will be a first out of the inning for Texas A&M. So one challenge in the books for Southeastern, and a smart one. One down, as Coco just a little too aggressive there. And they work on it every day in practice. It's not like they never work on the timing aspect, but one of maybe, I think, the disadvantages of running on the very first pitch that you see from the bases from a pitcher that you hadn't seen all day. Chopped off the plate by Kennedy Powell. Quickly, Dubois out of the circle to get it and throws to first, 1-3 for out number 2. So a promising inning, at least initially, very quickly erased there, 2 outs.
Yeah.
And that will bring up Julia Cottrell for Texas A&M. No score, bottom of the first inning. And I say, almost erased promising inning because the Aggies were so good this weekend with 2 outs. So good. They hit a whopping 400 last weekend in San Diego just with 2 outs. Jules takes a strike from Dubois, 0-1 the count. Here's the Aggies catcher out of Wichita, Kansas. 296 on the year, 3 homers and 8 runs driven in. Takes the next pitch high and out of the zone for a ball, 1-1. This changeup, by the way, that was not a changeup, but the changeup for Dubois sits in the mid-40s.
Yeah,
So,
I'm taking that pitch if I'm
not gonna
Julia
go after
Cottrell, especially not first pitch.
Yeah. There it is, floats in, misses down and in to Cottrell. 2 balls and a strike. Jules, 2 home runs in the Campbell Cardiac Classic in San Diego. Both went a very, very long way down the line and left. The second one I don't think's landed yet. 2-1 pitch, change, floats in for a strike. That is nasty. That's not fun, folks. 44 miles an hour on the scoreboard. It's almost as fast as the catcher's throw back to the pitcher. That's basically how it's working here. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. That's high. Overthrew that one to Dubois. It came in at 65. So if the number's on the board right, that's a 22 mile an hour difference.
It's a huge differential pitch to pitch, which is tough to time.
Change, waits on it, rips it, left center field. That's going to run all the way to the fence. Rounding first is Cottrell. She is into second, standing up. And Julia Cottrell, the veteran, you can fool her once, maybe twice, but not a third time.
No, that was a great job by Julia Cottrell, sitting back on the changeup. Feel like she was probably hunting changeup that time now that she saw it twice. And if it's in the strike zone, that's exactly what you got to do with that. And you may not hit that over the fence, but a line drive to the wall will work.
Second double of the season for Cottrell. That was swung on as I'm looking at the replay right below the necks, right above the letters, and went up and got it. So here's Trin, line shot, but it's right at the third baseman, Detillier. Hit anywhere else, it's into the grass and left, but a out there for Southeastern Louisiana. Lexi Johnson will lead things off. Right-handed hitting first baseman, a senior out of reserve, and Vestal just misses inside at the knees, 1-0. Johnson on the season is a .312 hitter, 2 home runs, 6 runs driven in. That's outside, 2-0. This Southeastern team last year, 47-14 as a team. They finished just behind McNeese in the Southland standings. They go to the Southland tournament. It's a 2-0 coming here from Vestal. And that is right down the pipe for a strike. They go to the Southland tournament. They advance to the championship game, which is being played in Lake Charles, and they lose on a walk-off home run in extra innings. McNeese gets the bid to the NCAA tournament. Southeastern, when you have a mid-major, especially like in the Southland, here's a roller on the left side. Kennedy Powell has it and will throw her out at first. You have a mid-major team like this that can finish with an RPI of 54. That shows you how good they are. A big time, they just didn't get that tournament bid. They were that close to going to the postseason. They bring a lot of people back from that team. 8 position starters, 13 letter winners, quite a few pitchers as well. This is a very veteran Lady Lion team.
Right. It feels like they just missed an at-large bid with those kind of numbers. I mean, and then you talked about their schedule and the teams that they're playing throughout the non-conference. And, I mean, you got to think that their eyes are on a potential at-large.
1-0 pitch to Maddie Watson is poked foul on the left side. 1-1 the count. 200 down the lines here at Davis. 220 to straightaway center. Gaps a tiny bit deeper. Pretty similar size to what we saw in San Diego last week. People maybe haven't watched the game here before. It's a pretty fair park. The gaps do come into play. Teams can run in those, and this one's into right center field, right on cue. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. That's on me, Allie. Sorry about that. She'll pick it up there and get it in. It's going to be a double off the bat of Maddie Watson. But not necessarily a hitter's park. per se, not necessarily a pitcher's park per se. You know, kind of has to depend on the weather. It's, you know, the old park was a box, like a ball up in the air is going to get out of there, but not here. So Maddie Watson doubles with 1 out here in the second. We are scoreless. Watson, second double of the season, and immediately Rick Freeman's going to go to his bench and get Briley Broussard to run, a junior out of Tickfaw. So she will come and run at second base. So Broussard will run at second base with 1 out. Great speed. Broussard, already 2 stolen bases, 11th appearance. Shows bunt, does the left-handed hitting Audrey Greeley and misses for strike 1. Kind of running up at it a little bit. Greeley's the DP. Wears number 12. She's a senior out of Geismar. .360 average on the year with a home run and 2 runs driven in. Corners in for the Aggies. Vestal pitches down and out of the zone, lays off of that 1-1. So again, a lot of pressure on your defense now with a runner at 2 and a base open. You got Coco at short having to cover the bag at third, and your corners come in a crash, and you don't have a force play. Right. So, but you got to imagine Greeley's going to be aggressive on second. This one's fouled off here on the left side, 1-2. We told you this team likes to run. They entered today with a .369 batting average, and they had 8 runs on 12 hits in 5 innings in the first game. So you can tell that number went up. They have scored now 63 runs in 11 games, 26 stolen bases. This one's low. Nice pick by Cottrell behind the plate. May have hopped just a tiny bit. 2-2 the count with 1 out. We are scoreless here in the top of the second, both teams with 2 hits. And we've already seen 2 extra base hits for the Lady Lions and 1 for Texas A&M. 2-2 pitch. That's high, and the count is full, 3-2. Really nice job by Greeley working the at-bat here. On deck is the 8-hole hitter, Colleen Cullivan. 3 straight lefties here at the bottom of the Lady Lion lineup. Vestal ready, 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Outer half just off the plate. It's her second strikeout of the game. It's a really nice job by Vestal. It's a great spot. Looked low and away. Not the swing and miss. Does a nice job not giving up on that and letting another runner get on base. 2 down here is Cullivan, the right fielder. Left-handed batter. Stands in with a .318 average, 4 runs driven in. Swing and a miss behind that one a bit. That one came in above the belt on the outer half, 0-1. Runner at second, 2 outs here in the top of the second. The Lady Lions and the Aggies are scoreless here. Only time these two will meet in this tournament. Southeastern already with a win in the tournament, 8-0 over UTSA earlier this morning. Outside and low, 1-1. 2 scores today were 8-0 in 5 innings, Southeastern over UTSA, and then Kansas 12-0 in 5 innings over UTSA just a little bit before this one. This is the last game of today. 5 tomorrow, and then 5 on Saturday, and then Sunday's got some as well. Great pitch by Vestal, paints the outside corner at the belt, and the count's 1-2. Like we said earlier, if it's working, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Right now, that outside corner is working against lefties, and then let's see if she comes back with that changeup. 1-2, Rise that time, fouls it onto the net. Notice she's still working that outer half, though. She hasn't really come in on the lefties. And Vestal is new to this program, but not new to college. Grad transfer. She is, this is year 6 for her in college. Redshirted as a freshman at OU, played 2 years there and 2 years at Ole Miss before making the jump. 1-2 pitch, runners going, rises a ball, throw up, and the throw down to third. Kennedy Powell backing up, tags the runner, sliding into the backside of the bag, and Cottrell catches the runner. Broussard trying to go to third. Tough play there for the Aggies as Powell was playing in. She had to catch it and back up. That is so difficult. Bottom half of the second, be followed by Keely Williams and Allie Enright. First pitch to the veterans, taken high. Ball 1. Jazz grad student out of Norwalk, California. 4-year player starter at Arizona State. 3 of those coming under Tricia Ford and Jeff Harger, Russ Heffley, and crew. Made the move to rejoin them. There's that nasty changeup. Floats in high above the letters. Actually floated down across the letters, but it's a ball at 42 miles an hour. 2-0 the count. Jazz on the year, .364 average, a home run and 4 runs driven in. Curve catches the outer half of the plate at the belt, 2-1. Funny thing about Jazz, too, I was talking to somebody about it. Like, she's been kind of a quiet 364, I would say. I know she had a home run 2 weeks ago, but that tells you how good of a player she is, where she's just kind of doing her thing. Change up, got under it, just missed it. Still drove it to pretty deep center field. It's caught out there by Goodman for out number 1.
Yeah, she just missed that one, considering how far back Goodman had to go for that.
Well, and I think, too, you know, on a change like that, it's more about trying to time it up. It's not, I'm not trying to, you know, take a shot at Dubois at all, but it has a bit of a sort of a slow pitch vibe. It's not nearly that high, but it's all about the timing and when you're able to connect with the ball. Keely Williams ropes that one, but it's hit right at the left fielder for out number 2. So hard line out to left by Texas A&M. That's 2 hard line drives to the left side.
Well, and that's kind of the game plan against a changeup heavy pitcher is you want to be thinking line drive, line drive. You don't want to try and hit it out because more likely than not, it's going to end up being a pop-up.
So 2 down, no score here in the second. Here is Allie Enright. First pitch is taken high, ball 1. Allie, the junior out of Santa Clarita. These numbers are okay, I guess. 609 batting average, is that good? 4 doubles, 3 homers, 13 runs driven in. This pitch is down and in, 2-0. So 3 homers, 13 RBI in 9 games for Allie Enright. She's the reigning SEC Offensive Player of the Week. Lions have the shortstop shaded way, way over into the hole of the left side, and that one is a changeup high, 3-0. Outfield deep straight away.
How great has Allie Enright been, really? I mean, just such consistency at the plate these first 2 weekends.
That is a strike midway between the knees and the belt on the inner half, 3-1.
I like that take.
If you're going to swing 3-0, you better make sure
it's got to be
pitch.
your pitch.
And didn't want to swing at that one and hacked halfway, so to speak, up and in, 3-2.
That's a good pitch by Dubois. 60, that's almost 67. That's a huge differential between that and the changeup.
That one skips in, and Allie Enright draws the walk. And that walk is her 5th of the season. So once again, Donna, I know it's just 2 innings. Aggies producing with 2 outs. They're carrying that through from last weekend.
That's a great situation to be able to deliver in. 2-out hitting is essential, especially when you're in a pinch for runs. So it's nice that they've shown that, especially last weekend.
Here's Rylan Wiggins. First pitch is down and in, 1-0. Wiggins, the senior out of Wiley, 188 hitter on the year, a home run, and 3 runs driven in. Just 1 for 9 last week in San Diego, but did walk twice, did score a run, and did drive in a run. This pitch is high, 2-0. Yeah, speaking of driving in a run, in the Aggies win over Oregon on Friday, the top 3 in the order combined 0 for 12. Middle, got on base. Bottom, drove them in. So really up and down the lineup contribution for the Aggies. That one is swung on and missed. That one dropped off the table just below the knees, 2-1.
Well, that's exactly what you want to see in a lineup is if one part of the lineup's struggling, you need the other ones to pick you up. So, 1 through 9 in this lineup, we know, are able to hit and get on base.
Change up, called strike, right around the letters. So with a 2-2 count here, and Allie Enright at first base. Here's the next offering. That's way down and in, ball 3. Now, runner will be moving here with 2 outs. On deck, Amari Harper. No score, bottom of the second inning. Nice little crowd forming here at Davis Diamond. Payoff pitch. There goes Allie. Ryland pops it in the air to right center. Racing over is Cullivan. Now the center fielder coming over Goodman. She will make the catch about the race.
That's a great call. I mean, they obviously saw it in the dugout, but to go ahead and use one of your challenges early, I think that did, save them a run.
Yeah. Strike 1 to Cameron Goodman. This is the 9-hole hitter, left-handed batting center fielder. Well, we got a rotation here as a lineup we had was.
No, I think Coach just put in a
he pinched well.
pinch hitter.
Maybe he brought a pinch hitter in. So Addison Contorno, freshman out of Livingston, Louisiana, will foul this one off. The count is 0-2. So Contorno hitting for Goodman in the 9-hole. should know better. I've watched enough softball. They'll do it at any time of the game. Pinch hitter. Outside 1-2. Not sure what we're talking about if you just tuned in. In the first inning, first pitch, Coco Woolley bunt single on the infield, safe by a mile. She takes off running on the first pitch of the next batter, easily into second base. And they challenged for runner left early. They went to review, and it was upheld. There's a swing and a miss, strikeout. Brooke Vestal now 3 strikeouts, 1 in each of the innings so far, 1 out here in the third.
She's got that changeup on a string. It looks so pretty coming in.
I know what I did wrong. Here is Cameron Goodman. I forgot that Cullivan was at the plate when the runner was thrown out, so that was the 8th spot in the lineup. So now Cameron Goodman to the plate.
We're back.
We're back, fam. Ground ball right side, base hit past the drawn-in infield. And Cameron Goodman, the 9-hole hitter, punches it through the right side. And she has her 5th hit of the season.
That's a good approach.
Speed. Yeah.
That's a really good approach, that first pitch strike, jumping on it before you get too into the count, where Vestal can mix up different speeds, different heights, elevations. That's a nice piece of hitting by Goodman.
And the first pitch is a strike called. We're back to the top of the order now. Kaylin Watson. So I was a batter off. Yeah. Took me a few games to get to do that, but here we are. Right on track, right in midseason form. Watson popped out to short in the first. No score, good speed at first, 1 out. Coco shaded towards the bag at shortstop. High and out of the zone, 2-0. Jules has already thrown out a runner on the day, on the year. She has now thrown out 2 base runners in 7 attempts. Watson. And we have a violation. I don't know if you could hear that on our crowd mic. That is the home plate umpire, Gwendolyn Boudreau. We'll explain the pitch clock here right now. That is a strike, so the count should be 2 balls and 1 strike, best I can tell.
No, 1 and 2.
1 and 2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes on Kaylin Watson. So the very quick part of the rule, can't quite see it on TV here, but there's a pitch clock in center, a pitch clock behind home plate. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Runner's going, cued foul off the end of the bat. So we'll hold it 1 and 2. So the pitch clock rule, just quickly, 20 seconds from the time Vestal gets the ball back and she's in the circle. And then she has to deliver within 20 seconds. The batter has to be in the box at least, not necessarily standing up, but in the box for 10 seconds.
Right.
And that's what happened there. Time called. Tricia calling time. Talking to Gwendolyn Miller, the home plate umpire. And time called. She wants to see if the runner left early at first base, even though it was a foul ball. So Tricia Ford wanting to review to see if the runner, which on quick glance, maybe she did. We'll see. So haven't seen this before, challenging a runner left early on a foul ball. But, hey, if she left early, it's a dead ball, and you can get the out, so we'll see.
Right, and I think is another good opportunity to use that challenge. Now that you're able to challenge the runner leaving early, I really think the way that base running is taught is going to change a little bit.
Yeah.
Because when we were working on base running, it was kind of a let's test the umpires a little bit and see what they're going to call it, what they're not, and how, not to say what you can get away with, but it's a split second. So sometimes it's if the pitcher's delivery, is one way or another, you could kind of get away with it. Now with this replay and being able to challenge, I think that's going to change things a little bit.
So we'll see what the review shows. Really close. Let's see here as Vestal is releasing the ball. The runner, Goodman, is off the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's off the bag. So this should be, this is closer than Coco's off the bag. But the Aggies deciding to use a challenge here. Again, Southeastern with good speed. If you win this, which I think on replay will be, she's about a step off the bag, I would say, by the time the ball comes out of Brooks' hand. Then all of a sudden it's 2 outs and nobody on base, and it's still a 1-2 count because that was a foul ball.
Right.
So runner left early likely will be reversed. Dustin Douglas, Keith Kearney down in that umpire room. They had to walk by our grounds crew who are just kind of hanging around doing nothing down there. But kind of how they roll.
After further review, the runner at first left early. We have an out.
Dustin, I
That's
feel like
super
he'd be
cute.
fun to hang out with him. He's real casual. He's like, she left early. She's out. So
No nonsense from
yeah.
Dustin.
Yeah, he's like, whatever, that'll work. So runner left early. We're out number 2. Again, that's a new rule. You know, folks that were used to the replays, you can review all the usual suspects. Fair foul, home run, play at the plate, obstruction, all that. But this one is new this year. Tag up, touch base, or leaving early on the pitch. Not tag up, touch base, we're always there. But leaving early on the pitch is new.
It's a big one. We've seen it affect this game twice now. So
took good speed off the bases. The count's 1-2 on Kaylin Watson, the leadoff hitter. No score here in the third. Nobody on base. And she swings and misses at a drop ball, and that will do it. Versus at intechdoes.com. Intech says, Gig 'em Aggies. Mari Harper, Coco Woolley, Kennedy Powell to lead it off here in the bottom half of the third. Scoreless here in the first game of the Texas A&M Invitational for the Aggies. Amari chops it off the plate at short. Quick throw across the diamond by McGee, and that is out number 1 here in the Texas A&M third inning.
it's a nice job by McGee making a decision of where to play that ball. Those are one of those choppers that you can get stuck and get a bad hop, but she stuck with it and quick throw over to first.
So 1 out. Here's Coco. Smokes it into left field right at Watson, who was shaded just a tiny bit to the left and in, and just had to take a step or two to her left. 2 outs.
They're on it today. They're hitting line drives. It's just quite a few of them have been right at Lady Lions.
2 outs. Kennedy Powell at the plate. She is 0 for 1 in this game. KP hitting an even 400 as she entered the game. Double, triple, 2 triples, 5 RBI. Takes the pitch for a strike on a bunt attempt, 0-1. And you could see it on TV maybe here, but what these two can do, Donna, the infield has to play in because they can put the ball on the ground. But the outfield has to back up because they can hit it a long ways. Changeup comes in, hits her in the helmet. And KP just stood there, let it bounce off, and she'll trot down to first.
Smart decision.
Sharing a laugh with Russ Heffley at first base. So the first free base via the hit batter in this ball game. And, we talk about Coco, but KP's got speed too. Folks, she's got 7 stolen bases on the season. That would already rank 3rd on the A&M team all of last year. She's already got 7 this year. First pitch to Cottrell, misses inside, 1-0.
Yeah,
Cottrell doubled to left center in the first.
She's not someone you want to put on base for free, And now with Cottrell up, hit the ball hard last at bat. So
it's a 1-0 to Jules. That is down and in, 2-0. They got the runner caught, throw to first. They skip the ball into second base. Does the first baseman. Thank you very much. Coco Woolley will head to second. Kennedy Powell will head to second. Man, that they had her off, and she's tapping her chest saying, that's me. But that was going to be an out at second, but the skip throw from the first baseman, Johnson. Yeah.
You see how she had her weight shifting back a little bit towards first?
That one is up just barely, I guess. 3-0 the count. So that will likely be scored a stolen base for Powell, even though she would have been out had a good throw been made. Jules takes a strike at the knees, almost throwing her bat to the box. And KP dancing around again. I'm going to mess them up all year, those two. It's funny, she slides back in safe on the throw. I had an interview with them yesterday, and I was asking them, I go, which one of you is faster? Because we had them together.
Yeah.
And they both kind of look at each other and start laughing. I was like, what's like a tie? Have y'all ever raced? Do you not race? They're like, no, we haven't ever actually raced. But here's the 3-1. This one skips in, gets through the wickets of the catcher, back to the screen. It's a walk, and on the wild pitch, Powell will take the base. Julia Cottrell just trotting down to second. No one paying attention. And Jules just makes her way into scoring position.
That's a really heads-up play by Cottrell. Nobody was really paying attention defensively. Nobody covering second base. And by the time they realize you don't want to make that throw because Kennedy Powell's gonna take off from third.
And Rick Freeman is talking to the home plate umpire, and he is going to make a T-Mobile call to the bullpen here for Southeastern. We'll take a quick break. 80 against her. She inherits second and third. 2 outs. Here's Trinity Cannon. Lined hard at third baseman. Detillier back in the first. Changeup floats in just off the plate. 1 ball and no strikes from MC Como. Right-hander, wears number 10. Como, again, same kind of profile. Mid-40s on a change. Off the end of the bat, spins foul right side. It's starting to roll slowly towards fair territory, and it's stopped in the runner's lane. Folks, that ball had so much English on it, it hit the lip of the grass, and then it started to, in front of the Southeastern dugout, then it started to roll back towards fair territory.
That's why Trinity had to start running, just in case.
Man. No score in the bottom of the third, 2 outs, 1-1 pitch coming from Como. Off the end of the bat into the circle. She's got it, throws to first, and Cannon is retired for out number 3. So the Aggies create a little dirty changeup, and they bring another one in. Kind of resets the clock almost, doesn't it?
It does, because even though they have similar pitches, it's a different look, it's a different delivery, and now it's like starting over. It's essentially a first at bat.
Yeah. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Lions against Brooke Vestal. First pitch misses down and out of the zone, 1-0. Chloe McGee, Maria Detillier, and Bailey Krolchek due up to face Vestal, who has struck out 4 and allowed 2 hits. It's not walked a batter through 3 innings of work. So it's also the second time through the lineup for the Lions. That's a pitch taken up and in, and the count is 2-0 to Chloe McGee. Tied for the team lead with 5 multi-hit games on the young season. A true freshman. There's a strike at the belt on the outer half. And I know it's just high school, but when you hit 555 in your career and you steal 167 bases, you're pretty good.
Oh, no doubt. Come on. 555 anywhere is tough.
Yeah. 2-1 pitch. Bunt, drag to the right side. Vestal out of the circle, takes it, shuttles it over to first, out of the glove, and kind of like that option pass from a quarterback right to Amari. That's 1 out.
Really nice job by Vestal, a little PFP action, but it's a way to move out of the circle.
It looks so easy, but that's some of the toughest things. PFP is so hard to execute
they practice
in the sport of softball.
I mean, it has to be practiced.
All right, 3-hole hitter Maria Detillier doubled to left field in the first inning. Check swing off the end of the bat, and it goes foul and just dies in the lane going towards the on-deck circle on the right side, 0-1. Detillier hit one on the screws at Keely Williams. It was kind of rising a little bit when it got to her. She went up a little bit, it hit off her glove and went out into the fence and left. So that's the double. The pitch, rise ball, foul back, and the count's 0-2.
Nice job by Vestal getting ahead in the count. She's been pretty efficient today.
Yeah, and she's going to be a big key to the Aggies' success this season. A&M's going to need every bit of all 4 pitchers if they want to make a deep run this year. Here's the 0-2. Drop ball misses, 1-2. Vestal, go ahead.
You see that though? Rise ball, rise something away, and now down. She can work each spot of the zone. That gives her big advantage here. You don't know what's coming at her.
1-2 pitch. Little flare foul left side. Hold it 1-2 off the end of the bat. Trisha Ford describes her as just a really even keel pitcher. Super experienced, super knowledgeable. Doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, just kind of does her thing. She said she's been incredible for the locker room and for the pitching staff, which she says is the tightest it's ever been under this group. And I'm talking about Shaylee and Emily and the ones that have been here a while.
Right.
That's still fitting right in. 1-2 pitch. That is low. That'll even the count.
It's a good spot, though.
No score. Top of the 4th inning here, Aggies and Southeastern. Vestal pitched 2 years at Ole Miss, 32 innings of work combined. Was on the team for 3. She redshirted as well. That one's inside for a ball.
It's a nice job by Detillier, not swinging at anything out of the zone, staying in this at bat.
There's the payoff pitch from Brooke Vestal. Gets away from her, went up in the zone, sailed in high, and that is her first free pass she's allowed. It comes to Detillier. Yet to have a stolen base this year. 1 out, 1 on, no score here in the top of the 4th. And that will bring up Bailey Krolchek, the catcher. Struck out swinging in the first. 1 for 3 with 2 runs driven in the win over UTSA earlier today. Right-handed batter. It's taken low, ball 1. Last year for Lady Lions, told you the player and hitter of the year, all region selection, 379 hitter, 10 home runs, 50 runs driven in. Also threw in 18 doubles and 12 stolen bases to boot. This one's up 2-0. Led the league in 5 offensive categories. Very dangerous bat here in the middle of this Lady Lion lineup. Popped into right field. Allie Enright charging in. Rylan Wiggins going back, tried to make an over-the-shoulder catch. It was in no man's land. It will drop, and it will just hit off the end of Rylan's glove in shallow-ish right field. So it should be a bloop single there off the bat of Krolchek. And now 2 on, 1 out.
That in-between pop-up right there between second and right field and shallow right, it's way tougher for Rylan to back up and make that basket catch essentially over the shoulder. It's much easier for Allie Enright to call her off in that scenario, so she just bails out.
Yeah. It's outside the 5-hole hitter, Lexi Johnson, ball 1. She went out and up to get that ball too. That was not a strike.
Right.
Yeah, she's happy to be at first base. 4th hit of the game for Southeastern. Lexi Johnson 0 for 1 in this game with a ground out. 1 for 2 in the first game against UTSA. That one's up 2-0. And we'll see how Brooke works out of some trouble here, and Julia Cottrell will go out and talk to her. Look at the veteran experience in that circle there. Cottrell, 5th year in college. Vestal's 6th year in college. Jules' 3rd program. Vestal's 3rd program.
They got a lot of years of softball, of college softball too.
Rylan Wiggins talking with Amari Harper on the right side. They'll now back up into their normal positions. First and second, with a hard hit ball in the infield, you could get a double play and get out of the inning here. Vestal's going to have to try to battle back from this hitter's count. Here comes the 2-0. Line foul, third base, past Dustin Douglas. That was about 6 or 8 feet foul. And it counts 2-1.
When Coach Ford talked to us about how she feels like this team has a sense of just no panic when they get in situations like this. So I'm interested to see now, how they're able to work out of this.
2-1 the count with 1 out, 2 on. Drop ball comes back and hits the pitch clock. 2-2. Again, you talk about changing eye angle. You can kind of see, I don't know that you're going to get like a bunch of complete games from Brooke. That's maybe not what any of the pitchers' roles are on this team, but the way she can change eye angles and work a couple of times through the lineup excites you moving forward. 2-2 pitch coming. Up and in, hits off the glove of Cottrell, drops the ball, drops her glove, throws down to third, sliding in safe on the backside of the tag is Detillier. I don't know if she got crossed up there or what happened, but the ball just knocked the glove off of her. It counts 3-2. We'll see how they score it. Runner at first held. That's a pass ball there. That one's fouled off at the plate with the runner at first going. The pitch was up and in a little bit, but it just literally knocked the glove off of Cottrell's hand and heads up by Detillier.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that they didn't take second base on that.
Grounded right side, base hit. That'll get the run home. Runner stops at second base. 2-strike hitting off the bat of Lexi Johnson. She drives in her 7th run of the season, and the Lions lead it 1-0.
Yeah, that's a great piece of hitting by Lexi Johnson. Just through the right side of the infield. Get it to, you have a runner on third. All you need to do is get it through the infield. No need to do too much. And now the Lady Lions are on the board.
I'm called, and Tricia Ford out to talk to the circle, and we will come and run.
7 to play second baseman number 7, Patty Watson.
So runner at second is Kivett. Runner at first is, runner at second is Kivett. Runner at first is Johnson. First and second, 1 out. Just swing and a miss, comes down and in with the hard stuff. Strike 1. And Ackerman coming in at 68 miles an hour on that one. Looking for a ground ball here. Back in the dugout. 1-0. Southeastern leads it. That is a strike at the knees on the outer half, and the count is 0-2.
Just attacking the strike zone right away. That's exactly what you want to do. Coming in, you don't want to put anybody else on base.
0-2 pitch. Rise misses. Inning started innocently enough with a bunt on a ground out into the circle. Then a full count walk after a foul ball. And then it kind of opened up a little bit there. Base hit, a run is in. That's well off the plate, didn't get it to chase. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. This is only the 4th inning, but this is one of the, what I'd say, quote unquote, later deficits that the Aggies have faced in a game this season. Maybe once earlier in the year that they've been down in the 4th inning of a game. This one chopped foul at the plate off the foot of Maddie Watson. But one thing Tricia Ford said, and we'll see, just no panic, no tense, none of that when the Aggies have found themselves down in games.
Well, there's going to be scenarios where they're down, so here's a good opportunity to see, again, how they're able to work out of this, how they're able to respond when they get back in the dugout.
2-2 pitch from Shea. Rise in the air to left. It's carrying. Backing up is Keeley. Backing up right up against the wall under the light standard. She makes the catch. Throw in. Will get to third base, but both runners will advance. That's about as far as you can hit a ball without it leaving this park. But it's an out, 2 down.
Nice job by Keeley getting there and then firing it in pretty quick. I know the runner's tagged, but there was potentially a chance there for a play at third.
That one was caught just to the right of the Aggie scoreboard. There's a light standard that's right up against the right side of the scoreboard. That's where that was caught, maybe a step from the wall. 2 outs. Here's Audrey Greeley, who was 0 for 1 with a strikeout. That came against the starter, Brooke Vestal. Here's the pitch. Line foul, netting above the Aggie dugout on the left side, strike 1. Second and third, 1 run home here in the 4th. 1-0. Southeastern leads Texas A&M. Aggies have 2 games tomorrow, 4:30, St. Thomas, 7 o'clock, North Dakota State. 2 games Saturday, 4:30, Kansas, 7 o'clock, NDSU. And then a 2 o'clock game on Sunday against UTSA. Foul back on the rise, onto the net, and the count is quickly 0-2. Ackerman, the veteran, trying to get out of this jam for her teammate, Brooke Vestal.
Well, now she can make her pitch because she's way ahead in the count here.
0-2. Down and out. Cottrell picks it. 1-2. No chase there by the batter, Greeley. Greeley preseason first team all-conference selection for Rick Freeman. Last year, a first team all-conference. Hit .336. Veteran player trying to deliver a big hit. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Drop ball off the plate. Ackerman pumps her fist. Cottrell points at her pitcher. And Shea comes out for the 4th inning. Jazz Hill will lead things off. Followed by Keely Williams and Allie Enright. And Jazz takes the first pitch. A strike belt high on the outer half. 0-1. Flew out to center field in the 2nd inning. That was against the starter, Ellie Dubois, who went 2 2/3 innings, giving up 2 hits. Waits on that one, drives it into right center field. That is down. That one hops the fence. Here comes Jazz into second, standing up, and a lead-off double by the Aggie veteran.
That's exactly what the Aggies needed right there. Great piece of hitting by Jazz Hill, waiting on that outside. A little bit slower, not sure if it was a change or not, but just sitting back, taking that the other way, that's exactly what you want to do, especially at Davis going gap to gap.
Yeah, and for Jazz, that is going to be her first double as an Aggie. There's a lot more of those from Arizona State, though. Here's Keeley. Takes a strike. 0-1. Lined out hard to left field back in the 2nd inning. Keeley, another example of the Aggies, how you got contributions up and down the lineup last weekend in San Diego. This one lined foul left side. Just 1 for 11 at the plate in that tournament. So, yeah, that's not a good day, a good weekend for you. But guess what? 2 walks, stolen base, 2 runs scored. So still finding ways to get on base and make things happen, even when it's not coming together for you at the plate. 0-2 pitch, a rise, misses, 1-2.
Well, And Coach Ford said how this team is unselfish. You heard her say that in the pregame, and that's exactly what those contributions are.
Line shot, that's into left center field. That will easily score Jazz Hill. Keely Williams with a wide turn at first. She'll stop. Ball gets away for a second in the infield, but she'll stay there. Keely Williams, RBI single, and right back at them come the Aggies. We're tied at 1.
That's a great response. I mean, we just talked about, hey, how are they going to come back into the dugout after giving up a run, and no panic, back-to-back line drives get it done, and now we're tied at 1.
5th RBI for Keely, and how about Donna? That's a 1-2 count. So you're not just making something happen at whatever. You got down in the count and you found a way.
And that's a great point, and it's a great 2-strike swing because it wasn't a defensive swing you saw there. That was with confidence that, hey, I'm going to track this and hit something out of the infield.
Pinch runner at first for Texas A&M, Kramer Eschte, the junior transfer out of Brenham. 9th appearance of the year. Has 2 stolen bases. Very good speed, very heady base runner. We're tied at 1. Here comes Allie Enright, who walked in her first at-bat. Takes the first pitch down, ball 1. Told you Allie was the reigning player of the week, is the reigning player of the week in the SEC. Hit .571 last week in San Diego with 3 doubles and 3 RBIs, and had 2 at least, if not more, great defensive plays in right field. This one skips in, no advance by Kramer. 2-0 the count.
When you're hot, you're hot, you know?
Roll with it.
She's got everything working right now. And, hey, it's not a coincidence because she worked so hard in the summer and the offseason, and she's reaping the benefits right now.
Down below the knees, 3-0 from MC Como. 2 throwing in the Lions bullpen over here to our right. Looks like number 2, Chloe Bennett, number 14, Sarah Blanchard. This one is taken outside, ball 4. Southeastern wanted the call. Not close enough for Boudreau on the 3-0 count, the home plate umpire. So for the second time today, Allie walks. First and second, nobody out, and a run home for Texas A&M. Trisha Ford, she has to really yell at Gwendolyn Boudreau. Well, I like that the umpire is not just tuned into anything that's happening there, so focused in on the game. The Aggies are going to go to the bench and get Ayanna Coleman. This has been the spot that she has pretty much always pinch hit here, and that's 8-hole. AC, the sophomore out of College Station. 9th appearance on the year. 3 for 6 at the plate with a double, a homer, 6 runs driven in.
Well, I've talked about how difficult I think coming into a pinch hitting role is, and she has thrived in it.
2 on, nobody out. AC waits, swings, pops it back, coming towards us. It'll land on a concourse below us for strike 1. Runner at second is Kramer Eschte. Runner at first is Allie Enright. And another thing about bringing a kid like this in, the outfield's way back, Donna. So in the grass, you're going to easily score a run from second.
Yeah.
Tremendous raw power at the plate for the Aggies. Here's the pitch, grounded up the middle, shortstop near the bag, kicks off her glove, rolls into right field. Here comes Kramer. She'll score into third. Allie Enright, 2-1, Texas A&M.
Maybe not how they drew it up, but that's a really good job base running by Kramer. Just being heads up that as that ball was headed towards right field, take the extra base.
And I think what happened here, too, we'll see McGee, the shortstop, took her eye off it for a split second. She was trying to decide if I'm going to underhand flip the second, try to get the bag. Literally, as she went to scoop it, Donna, it just kicked off her glove, and she almost pushed the ball out into right field.
Yeah, I think she was probably trying to turn 2 there. In her head, she was like, hey, here's an opportunity to give us, 2 outs, and instead, not able to come up with it with the glove. You're right, she took her eye off of it for about a second.
So should be an error on the shortstop, McGee. If so, that's her 3rd of the season. 2-1 Aggies, first and third, nobody out. Wiggins back in the game to run at first. Time called. And Gwendolyn Miller having a quick discussion with the coaches, Coach Freeman in the dugout. I don't know if it was contentious at all. I couldn't quite tell. I think he was talking about the pitch clock. So it just reset out on the wall. So here's Amari. Runners at the corners, 0 for 1 in the game as Amari swings, fouls this pitch off on the left side for strike one. It'll be interesting to see how Jeff Harger plays this here, Donna, because my instinct says take second, but first and third, nobody out, and the bats are putting the ball in the bat. Maybe just let it go.
I could see it going either way. I think you're right.
Yeah, infield's in now for the Lady Lions. Amari, a 267 hitter. Pitch shows bunt. Runner was moving. It pokes foul towards the Aggie dugout. The count's 0-2. So with the runners at the corners, the infield is sucked in. Shortstop McGee playing back just a tiny bit, but the corners are about a step inside the bag, and even at second base, Watson's inside the bag as well. And that's a tag play at the plate with Allie Enright if the ball comes home. 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Line shot. That's down the line and left. It's fair. Knocked down by the left fielder. Tremendous play out there to save a double. Stopping at second is Rylan Wiggins. Amari Harper. RBI single to left. It's 3-1 Texas A&M.
Yeah, that's a great piece of hitting, but also defensively, that's an awesome play by Watson out and left. Just getting her body in front of it, regardless of how, to stop that ball. That gets by her. That potentially scores two more.
Poco with a little flare behind the circle. It's caught in the air. First pitch swinging. Caught by the shortstop, McGee. So a quick out here. One out. Runners at first and second. That's Rylan at second. That's Amari at first for Texas A&M. 3 runs home in the inning as the Aggies have answered back. Here's KP. 0 for 1 was hit by a pitch. Stole a bag in the third. Was left at third. It's a rise that misses up and out of the zone, 1-0.
Interesting setup here defensively for them. They're playing her straight up, but she can do so much from the left side. It's tough to make a decision on that.
Change up, waits on it, takes a strike, and nodding her head yes to her third base coach, Jeff Harger. 1-1 the count. Even in the first, I'm not saying the Aggies have been knocking the cover off the ball today, but even in the first couple innings, they were hitting line drives at people. That ball popped in the air right side. It will come over and hit the net past the SLU dugout, and the count's 1-2.
No, but you're right. I mean, we said it earlier, first, second inning, they were hitting it hard just right at people. And sometimes it takes a few innings to get them to fall. Sometimes it takes longer than that. But
yeah, that's true. 1-2 pitch, change, cue to the right side. That will get both runners up a base. Throw to first is in time to retire Powell. Out number 2. And Donna, that I think right there is the perfect example of an unselfish at-bat by your 2-hole hitter.
Yeah, I think she knew she was maybe coming back with that changeup, but off balance, but able to put it to the right side of the infield, and that's really important there because their only option there was to go to first base.
Here's Cottrell, 1 for 1 with a double and a walk. Line shot, diving catch at shortstop by McGee to Rob Cox as SEC play continues at Reed Arena. Wednesday night, 7:30. Arrive early, receive an Adidas Aggie basketball T-shirt for the first 500 fans in the fan zone. For game info and to buy tickets, check out 12th Man mobile app or visit gameday.12thman.com. 3-1 Aggies leading Southeastern Louisiana as we head to the 5th inning. Shaylee Ackerman in the circle in relief of the starter, Brooke Vestal. And the first pitch of the top half of the 5th inning is taken low, ball 1. It's for Addison Contorno, the right fielder. She will be followed by Cameron Goodman, the top of the order, Kaylin Watson. Infield in for the Aggies. This pitch, that is taken up just below the neck, 2-0. Quickly defensively, Kramer Eshte stays in the game for the Aggies in left field. We've seen that quite a bit this year. That's kind of how that rotation has worked to this point. Everything else still the same for A&M. That one's high and in, 3-0. With Tricia, she was talking about Shaylee as a pitcher. Really kind of a sophomore. I mean, she's a grad student, but she didn't pitch her first 2 years. Two-way player junior year, but got hurt and really didn't get to throw a ton more outside of a little bit. And that's a strike at the belt. Last year was really her first full year pitching, and so this is kind of look at it like year 2. Fiercely competitive out there and shows a lot of emotion and energy and really can eat some innings too for A&M when they need it. But this is a clutch situation for her here. Same pitch. Strike 2, belt high on the outer half.
Really nice job coming back here.
Past 6:30 in the evening here in College Station. Lights taking full effect here at Davis. Sun is almost down over here to our left. 3-2 pitch. That is a called strike 3. 3 straight on the outer black.
That was the same exact pitch, same exact spot. That's a really, really nice job coming back down 3-0 in the count.
You saw Contorno. She walked back to the dugout. She knew it, too. That's right on the outer black. She picked up the bat and just kind of put it across the front of her helmet like she knew she should have swung at it.
Yeah, I mean, you watched that pitch 3 times.
6 strikeout by Aggie pitching. Here's Cameron Goodman, the 9-hole hitter. Lined up the middle into the circle. Ackerman reaches up and gets it on the chop. Throws to first, 2 outs.
It's a nice grab by Shaylee.
Yeah. And those are hard. I mean, same thing in baseball. You know, your delivery, all your momentum's coming towards the plate. You got to stop, plant, and then instantly react. And you're not, what are you, 40? Probably 40 feet, maybe a little bit less than that from the plate.
Less than that.
Yeah.
By the time your stride is finished and you're really set, I mean, you're probably closer to like 35, 37. That's close.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and pass on that.
Yeah.
Ball 1 to Kaylin Watson, the left fielder. She is 0 for 2 today as she stands in. 4 for 4 with 2 runs scored and a stolen base in the win over UTSA earlier today for Southeastern Louisiana. Pitch, that was a strike on the inner half.
That's that same spot.
This team opened the year, went 5-0 at the Mardi Gras Mambo in Youngsville. It's outside Lafayette. It's a 1-1 pitch. Rise, misses. 2-0. Not only did they go 5-0, they shut out everybody. They outscored their opponents 31-0. They've already beaten Syracuse at home, Maryland at home. Their 2 losses this year, 4-1 at Louisiana Tech, and then on Tuesday against South Alabama, they lost at home 9-1. That's usually a tournament team, is South Alabama. That drop misses, 3-1 from Shea.
You say that again, Mardi Gras Mambo?
Yeah, you know how to say that. Oh, you're from Jersey. Have you heard of Mardi Gras? You guys have heard of Mardi Gras.
Come on, your Louisiana's been showing all game with the...
Well, I don't even have to look at the pronunciation guide. It works out perfect. Appreciate it. 3-1 the count to Watson. Chopped off the plate, 2 hopper to short. Coco charges, throws to first. And how about a 1-2-3 inning for Shaylee Axelby from Texas A&M Athletics. Trinity Cannon will lead it off. The 4-hole hitter takes the pitch outside. 1-0. She is 0 for 2 today. And Donna, how about Trin now in 9 games? Already 13 walks at the plate.
That's just great discipline and awareness. That's a veteran hitter.
Outside 2-0. Trin batting from the right side, the senior out of Forney. Her ball fouled back. 2 balls and 1 strike. Tyler made a little season and career number page. I got to use it here. I'm going to make him happy because he was pumped up about it.
Shout out Pounds with the game notes.
He's probably not listening over there. He always says he wants to, but I don't ever see it. So Cannon is playing in, this one was taken for a strike. Cannon is playing in her 164th game as an Aggie here in year 4. And she's played all over the diamond, third base, first base, now DP primarily this season, but really shows some versatility. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Maybe chased a tiny bit up in the zone there. 1 out. That is only the first strikeout of the game by Texas A&M hitters.
They've just done such a good job of getting the bat on the ball this game, regardless of how. But you're right. I think that was just a little bit up. She got a touch underneath it.
That's a curve, strike called at the belt, 0-1. Jazz, 1 for 2 today with a double and a run scored. Remember we were talking earlier about how she's been kind of a quiet 370 hitter or whatever. Kind of an example there. Did lead off the inning with a double, but she's just doing her job and then comes around to score. Really sparked that 3-run inning. Strike 2, that's just above the belt over the plate.
Well, she's another one with such veteran presence, her 5th year, and she's thrilled to be back here with this coaching staff. And, you know, she said she feels comfortable. She's back in her comfort zone with this group of coaches.
Way high there, 1 and 2. Jazz Played 3 seasons, 4 at ASU, but 3 for Trisha Ford. In the air to right, off the end of the bat. It's carrying pretty far. It's back. It's gone.
That was a great piece of hitting by Jazz Hill there. Going the other way. We just said we were waiting for a home run. And we got it.
Second of the year, second year at Texas A&M, and she gets the howdy hat. Oh, we got a new prop. We got a horse as well. Donna, that was on the chalk of the left-handed batter's box, and she went out and got it.
Well, and that's such a good job of letting that pitch get deep and just going with the pitch. You don't want to try and do too much with that, but she got her hands in the right spot. That's exactly what you want to do with that outside pitch. You're right, though. Impressive for it to be that far away and get that much pop on it.
236 feet off the bat. And that will be her 39th, I believe. Let me see here. 39th career home run for Jazz Hill to lead this Texas A&M team. T-Mobile call to the bullpen for Southeastern. We'll go ahead and keep it right here. It is for Chloe Bennett, right-handed pitcher, out of Rose Pine, transfer from LSU Unis. Again, coming in today, don't have the first game's numbers in front of me. 1-1 with a 3.62 ERA. This is her 5th appearance of the year. She's thrown 9 2/3 innings and held opponents to a 250 average. For you stat nerds out there, 73 miles an hour off the bat on that home run. What a 26-degree launch angle. So
All right.
not quite a line drive, but really got under that, really drove it nicely. Great job there by Jazz Hill. All right, Kramer Eshte will lead it off for Texas A&M after the home run. First pitch is a strike on the outer half.
Crowd doesn't like that.
No, they don't.
By the way, Jazz must have heard you say that she's quietly hitting 370 and said, I got to make some noise.
Yeah, they've been doing that to me most of the season so far. 4-1 Aggies. Kramer fouls this pitch back. 0-2. Well, that home run, by the way, for A&M, that's their 13th of the season here in the 10th game. And it's been spread around. Allie has 3. Jules has 3. Trin and now Jazz have 2. Keeley and Ryland each have 1. This one fouled off over the head of Jeff Harder on the left side, 0-2.
Well, that's one of the categories, home runs, right, that they're top 25. They're top 25 and going into this weekend, they're top 25 in like 6 different categories, hitting, pitching, what have you, and it just shows, again, they can get it done in so many ways.
Here's the 0-2 pitch coming. This one is hit well to left field by Eshte. That is back, and what a catch! Leaping in the air in left field by Watson to rob Eshte of what would have been a triple. Second incredible defensive play we have seen by the Lady Lions in the field.
I'll tell you what, that celebration is warranted. That is such a great play by Caitlin Watson in left. Look at, she's so pumped. But I would be too, because you're right. That if she doesn't make that play, that ball goes off the wall and starts coming back to left field. And with all of her momentum going out towards the wall, you're right. Kramer's probably getting a third on that. That was a really, really great play by Caitlin Watson.
Ball 1 to Allie Enright, who has walked twice. It's 4-1 Aggies, hitting with 2 outs, nobody on here in the 5th. Kramer smoked that ball, folks, opposite field. And the fielder, Watson, was racing towards the scoreboard and leapt in the air as she crossed from the grass into the dirt to make an incredible line drive catch. Wow. 1-1 now, the count to Allie as she fouls that one back onto the net. 4 runs, 6 hits for A&M. A run on 5 hits and error for Southeastern Louisiana. Pitch. And that is a strike at the knees, and the catcher, Kolchak, pumping her fist to her pitcher, Chloe Bennett. Chop foul at the plate. 1-2. Allie Enright, just such a fun kid to watch play, and it speaks to the character of the type of kid she is. When I talked to her after the game on Saturday, I think. I asked her about just, you know, the it was actually the Saturday San Diego State game, the 1-0 game. That's inside 2-2. I asked her about, you know, finding a way to win a tough one-run game, and the first thing out of her mouth was to talk about Emily Kennedy in the circle and what she did for this team. So
road roomies.
Yeah, road roomies indeed. Learned that in media this week. Chopped down the third base line. It skips up off the bag and over the glove of the third baseman Detillier and into left field. Base hit, Allie Enright. That was hit hard, but Detillier was ready to backhand field it, Donna, towards the line, and it just skipped off the base and over her glove.
Yeah, that's a tough play defensively because Enright hit that so hard. But like we were talking about, when you're hot, you're hot. Things just seem to, even stuff like that, plays like that seem to fall your way.
There's Rylan Wiggins, the Aggie second baseman, rips that one to left field right at Watson on a line for out number 3. The Aggies will add a run off the bat of Jazz Hill, second home. Athletics Plus buy. Transfer and manage your tickets inside of it. Visit 12man.com/app today. Speaking of the app, if you're watching us on the SEC Network after this game, we will talk with Trisha Ford. Talk with her after every home game, win or lose. And if the Aggies are able to hold on and win, we'll talk to a player as well. You'll be able to listen to that inside the 12th Man mobile app. All right, top of the 6th inning, 2, 3, and 4 due up to face Shaylee Ackerman. First pitch is a ball, 1-0 to Chloe McGee, who is 0 for 2 in the ball game, lined out in the first and grounded out on a bunt attempt in the 4th. 5 hits in the game for Southeastern with 1 error. They have left 3 runners. The Aggies have left now 5 runners, 4 runs on 7 hits. Slow roller, chop, check swing, left side. KP at third. We'll throw her out, 1 down. And Shaylee Ackerman now, Donna has retired. Let's see here. All 6 hitters she has come in to face.
Yeah, she's come in and done a really nice job of keeping it in the strike zone, not giving any free bases, and just getting people to ground out.
It's Maria Detillier, the third baseman. Pops it up on the right side of the infield. Moving towards the bag is the second baseman, Wiggins, and she will squeeze it for out number 2. Again, this is just a microcosm of what you might see in the Aggie pitching staff, and it's not always going to go good, if you want to say it that, but Brooke Vestal starts the game, goes essentially 1.5-ish times through the lineup. Now Shaylee Ackerman is trying to go maybe 1 time through the lineup here. We'll see, but she's doing well, but completely different look. This one's taken down to the cleanup hitter, Bailey Krolchek, who is 1 for 2. And I'm not saying she will bring her in, but Emily Levitt is throwing in the bullpen right now for the Aggies, who presents another different profile in the circle for Texas A&M.
Well, that's really the beauty of their staff, is like we talked about, just the different arsenals.
In on the hands, and it's just muscled through the left side by the Lions' best hitter, Bailey Krolchek. That's a good job of veteran hitting there by the catcher. That is hit number 6 in the ballgame for Southeastern.
Credit to Southeastern here. They have not given up. When the Aggies put up 3, they've stayed in it. They limited the damage, and you can see their fight. They're trying to chip away here.
Here's Lexi Johnson, the 5-hole hitter, the first baseman. In on the hands, fouled off on the right side here, strike 1. She is 1 for 2 today. Has the RBI. It was a single through the right side in the 4th inning. Again, folks, if you're just tuning in, this is not just some random team the Aggies are playing. They won 47 games last year. They just missed an at-large bid out of the Southland Conference for the NCAA tournament. It's outside, 1-1. They are not afraid to play anybody. They have played a lot of really good programs over the career of Rick Freeman, the head coach. Tremendous base running team, really strong hitting team. And as we can see, they can play some defense as well.
Well, that'll be the difference maker.
Runners going, pitch is fouled off right side between first base and the first base coaching box. Counts 1-2.
That'll be the difference maker for them. If they can get into the NCAA tournament at the in May, these types of games are going to mean so much. And it's not just, hey, we played Texas A&M, we played LSU, we played Ole Miss. It's the experience, and they're hanging.
Yeah. 1-2 pitch. Rise ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. And that will do it for the Lions here in the 6th. They'll strand a runner. Middle of the inning, Aggies 4, Southeastern Louisiana 1. This is Aggie softball from Learfield. This is 2 innings pitched, just allowed a hit, no runs, 2 walks. Opponents hitting 1-4-3 against Brunson, the 4th pitcher of the game. And the Aggies are going to go to the bench and get the freshman Maya Perez. So this is 9-1-2 here in the Aggie lineup. This is where we've seen Maya hit. First pitch is a ball off the plate, 1-0. Maya, left-handed hitter with incredible power. 1 for 7 at the plate here in her freshman season. All in, basically, had 1 start, but basically all pinch hit varieties with a run driven in. That's out of the zone, 2 balls and no strikes.
It's also just nice to know they have so much depth coming off the bench, too, that they can go to Amaya Perez in this situation or an Ayanna Coleman. Just have a lot of options in that dugout.
That's a strike on the outer half at the belt. And options that are mentally checked into the game. So when you come in, you're ready to go. You may not get hit, but you're checked in, ready to go. Fouls off a drop ball at the plate from Brunson. And the count is even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. These 2 games tomorrow, 4:30 and 7 o'clock. 2 games on Saturday at the same time, and then a 2 o'clock game on Sunday to wrap up this tournament. Smokes that one, but right at the center fielder, Goodman, 1 out. How many line drive outs have we had today?
We should have kept count. There's so many.
At least, I'd say at least 5,
Yeah.
I would say, hard off the bat.
I can think of 3 off the top, but I think you're right, 5.
Yeah.
Shortstop number 3, Coco Woolley.
Top of the order, here's Coco. 1 for 3 in the game. The single came in the first inning. 4-1 Aggies, hitting in the bottom of the 6th. That one takes for a strike. Talking earlier about how her and KP, I asked them who was faster, and they kind of looked at each other and didn't really say anything. And I was like, "Did you guys race ever?" They're like, "No, we didn't race. We haven't done that yet." No one was ready to concede to the other. She checked her swing on a rise ball, and she did, said Dustin Douglas, 1-1. And then KP came up with the idea, because she thinks they both get around the bases, they just do it differently. You know, Coco is so fast out of the box. Powell takes just a little bit to kind of get going. This one skips in, it's a ball. And so KP said, you know, it's like I'm a car and she's a motorcycle. It's like, I'm totally using that, that's for sure. But the way she gets going in the box, Coco is flying out of the box. Powell, just the way she runs, she gets faster the more she goes. Push bunt, foul at the plate by Coco, and the count's even, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I like that analogy.
It was great. Can't take credit for it, but I will 100% use it. Line drive, base hit to right on 2 hops. Hit that so hard, Donna, she was about halfway down the line when it got down on the ground.
Yeah, again, another great job just hitting the ball hard. They're not trying to do too much with it. They're just putting good swings on pitches, and it's working out here. And with Coco, you know, we've talked about her versatility in the box as well. It just, she can bunt, she can slap, she can power slap, or she can stand in there and hit.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. That's fouled off left side by KP for strike 1. She is 0 for 2 today with a hit by pitch. Aggies lead it 4-1. They've hit the ball on the screws. Honestly, the only game I thought they really haven't hit well, and they still scored 2 and hit a mammoth home run, was that Oregon game. 0-1 pitch, changeup, bunted in front of the plate. Catcher picks it up, throws to first with the first baseman, gets the out, and they back throw Coco dancing around off second, and she slides in safe. But a sacrifice off the bat of KP. And that is out number 2 here in the 6th.
But again, unselfish. Now you got Julia Cottrell up with Coco in scoring position.
I'm so impressed by Kolchak behind the plate, the type of player she is.
Yeah.
Pounced up quickly and knew exactly where to go with that ball to first. 2 outs, here's Julia. Been on base twice today, takes a ball up and out of the zone, 1-0. Double to left center in the first. walked in the third, lined out to short in the fourth on a rocket. That was a diving grab by McGee towards the bag at second to get that out. That saved a run or two for Texas A&M. Off the end of the bat, popped up in the air behind first base, and no man's land over there. Running catch in foul territory by Contorno, the right SeatGeek, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of A&M Athletics. Whether you're buying or selling softball tickets, SeatGeek's the place to do it. SeatGeek.com so fans can fan. Shaylee Ackerman has pitched fantastically in relief of Brooke Vestal, and the first pitch of this seventh inning is fouled off at the plate. This is Maddie Watson. Should be followed by Audrey Greeley and then Fontano. 7, 8, and 9. Or excuse me, this is 6, 7, and 8. Watson is 1 for 2 in the game with a double. It's a strike at the belt on the outer half, 0 and 2. And again, a reminder, stay tuned on the post-game show here on the radio. If you're watching, you can jump over to the 12-man mobile app and listen. We'll talk with our head coach, Tricia Ford, and if the Aggies hang on, we'll grab a player as well and get their thoughts immediately following this one. 0-2 pitch. Rise misses outside, 1 and 2.
Shaylee's done a great job of just working the corners, going up to the rise when she's ahead in the count. Just really doing a good job of mixing it up right now.
That one is a called strike 3 at the knees on the inner half. Fourth strikeout in relief for Shea. 8 now in the game for Texas A&M.
Again, it's just that, just in, out, and there you see she goes back to the inside corner. Rings her up.
1 down. Here's Greeley. She's taken up ball 1. Greeley struck out twice today. 333 hitter as she stands in. It's a 1-0. That one's taken low. 2 balls and no strikes to count. Aggies defense the same in the last couple innings. Only change from the starters is Kramer Eshte. Shea misses outside on a drop ball, and the count is 3 balls and no strikes.
That one just missed.
Great location there by Shaylee Ackerman. Veteran Julia Cottrell behind the plate. 3-0 pitch. That's a strike. Right down the pipe there. Pitch fouled off left side, curving towards the Aggie bullpen. Evan Pilot, our photographer, needs to make sure he keeps that long lens in the dugout or in the bullpen, doesn't get clipped by the ball flying towards him over there. Southeastern tomorrow has 2 games in this tournament. 11:30 St. Thomas, 2 o'clock North Dakota State. And that is a called strike 3. And the runner knew it as she ran down to first base, hoping that the umpire might say ball 4, but that was in her half, right at the belt, and she's out.
Once again, just a great job. She was 3-0 in that count. Shaylee Ackerman working back. That's a beautiful pitch for a called strike 3.
3 straight strikeouts for Shea, 5 now in her outing. Last chance here for Southeastern Louisiana comes here with 2 outs. First pitch fouled off left side by Colleen Cullivan, the right fielder. Cullivan, the starter, was rotated out of the game, I think, defensively and for an at-bat. Now she's back in. She's re-entered. Cullivan, a .318 hitter with 4 runs driven in. Last chance to keep this one alive. Aggies 2 strikes away from the victory as they have a 4-1 lead. There's a pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 2.
had a little bit of up movement just at the last second there. You can see it just, that final 6 inches, that is so tough to hit. When you're mid-swing, you can't adjust at that point. It's very difficult. That's a great pitch.
0-2 pitch from Shea. Rise ball way out of the zone, laid off at 1-2. Ackerman ready. 1-2 pitch. That's up as well on the rise. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Aggies with their 3-run, or Southeastern took the lead quickly in the 4th, 1-0. A&M answered with 3 in the bottom half, 1 in the 5th inning, and they have this 4-1 lead, looking for 1 more strike. 2-2 pitch. That's off the plate. A little bit down as well, and the count is full. On deck is the 9-hole hitter, Cameron Goodman, the center fielder. Want to avoid the top of this lineup at all costs if you're Texas A&M.
Yeah, no doubt. You don't want to get any speed up to the plate.
Good pitch. That's hitting the gap to left center, and that's going to go all the way to the fence. It's going to one-hop the fence. Kramer picks it up, quickly gets the ball in. And it is a full count double into the left center field gap by Colleen Cullivan. Keeps the game alive for Southeastern Louisiana. That is hit number 7 on the day for the Lady Lions.
Yeah, that's a great swing. Full count. That's a way to hang in there and drive some of the ball. By the way, that's a great throw.
Yeah, Kramer. Yeah.
Kramer?
He's got a good arm.
I'd say so.
From the track in the air to second base, yeah. It's Cam Goodman, 9-hole hitter, takes a strike on the outer half. Lefty, bit of a slapper profile. She is 1 for 2 today. Aggies had the infield in, the outfield sucked in and shaded to the left. Tying run is on deck for Southeastern Louisiana. Slapped at the shortstop. Coco behind the circle, throws to first, and that will do it. Texas A&M wins it.